Hello, good morning. I hope you're all well and that you've had a good week. In today's Flosstube, I'm going to be talking about two special samplers. One is a new release and the other is a new antique sampler that has arrived this week. Before I start to talk about samplers, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who responded to my question last week about cutting tables for a craft room. I had lots of emails and messages sending me photographs of your cutting tables, and there were some fabulous ones there. What the response has made me realise that you can create your own cutting table using a kitchen island. You can build an island, say from IKEA, and you can have the storage under the cutting table exactly as you want it. And I thought that was a brilliant idea to use storage units, kitchen units, and a worktop to build the craft table. So thank you very much for those suggestions. I am following through on that. My craft room's coming together so well. All the sort of alterations to the room has been completed, and on Monday, tomorrow, they are starting to plaster the walls. So we're getting very, very close now. Okay, so samplers. I am so delighted to announce the release of this gorgeous, gorgeous sampler. Now, this sampler was commissioned by Hobby House Needleworks as a special release for them. It's a limited edition and available exclusively from Hobby House Needleworks. For those that live outside of the US, and if you purchase just a booklet, your booklet will be shipping from the UK, so it attracts a lower postal rate for you. Here it is. This is Katerine's garden. Isn't that beautiful? This border, it just dances around the sampler. You have two charming scenes at the bottom. A little girl with either a pet dog or possibly a pet lamb, and a little boy reading. It's so charming. You've got this magnificent vase of flowers at the bottom centre and at the top. They are really magnificent displays of flowers. Now, the sampler is Dutch, and we know that it was stitched in 1885 by the girl when she was 12 years old, but there's no name on the sampler. And we have so many initials, we didn't know what the initials were of the stitcher. So we thought about this and we have decided to call it Katerine's garden. Katerine is Dutch for Katerine, and as we were working on this, we were calling it Kathy's sampler because it was for Kathy Mills of Hobby House Needlework. So it was decided to call it Katerine's garden, and it is available now exclusively on the Hobby House Needleworks website. If you go to the website and just pop Katerine into the search term, the sampler will come up. Now, Kathy and David of Hobby House Needleworks are offering this as a booklet only, or as a full kit or a part kit. You can either order the booklet, the threads, or the fabric. And one of the exciting things about the fabric is that it is available in 16-count Aida, as well as 32, 36, 40, 46 and 56 count linen. And the Aida and the linen has been dyed by Cedar River to a shade of salt ash. I think it's really lovely when the Aida matches the colour of the linen. So often Aida stitchers have to go and find something comparable because the actual colour hasn't been dyed in the Aida. But Kathy has thought of everything for needleworkers. Are you blocking the view of Katerine's sampler? You are. Okay, so when Kahana released their new scissors, the moment I saw these scissors, I thought, oh my God, look what a fabulous match they are for this sampler. They really, really are. And Kathy of Hobby House Needleworks has commissioned Sue of Minnie McBeans to make some scissor fobs for this sampler. So the image in the scissor fob has been taken from this sampler, and it's gorgeous. Now, unfortunately, I haven't got a fob to pop on my scissors yet, but there is one coming for me. Perfect fob for these beautiful new colour from Kahana. So if you buy the full kit from Hobby House, the first 500 people will be receiving a complimentary scissor fob from Minnie McBeans. I can't wait. Perfect one for these scissors. Now, what can I tell you about the sampler? It was stitched with 25 colours. This sampler is all about colour. In the booklet, we offer conversions for Soie 103, Soie d'Alger and DMC. It's entirely worked in cross stitch over 2, so it's suitable for needleworkers of all levels of ability. The stitch count is 209 by 236. It's a good size sampler without being a huge sampler. If you stitched the sampler on 16 count Aida or 32 count linen, the design area will be 13.06 inches by 14.75. If you stitched it on 40 count linen, it would be 10.45 by 11.80, or as the model was stitched on 46 count, that is 9.09 inches by 10.26. The model was stitched by Boomer, and Boomer really has done a magnificent job in stitching this sampler. When we decided on this sampler for the Hobby House special commission, I thought there's one person who has their name on this sampler, and that was Boomer. Boomer loves stitching with colour, and you know, she really did a magnificent job. Talking of the colours, it's got so many colours in, but these colours, whilst they're bright, they are mellow at the same time. Now, I know vibrant and mellow don't go together, but it's the only way I can think of describing the colour palette. We took the colours from the front of the sampler. No doubt when it was stitched in 1885, the colours were a lot brighter. So beautiful, really, really is beautiful. This is going to look fabulous on anybody's sampler wall. 1, because it's so different. 2, because it so beautifully composed the scene and that colour palette as well. The older I've got and the more samplers I've stitched, I've become quite sort of fussy about what I stitch and what I want to reproduce, and we had no hesitation in reproducing this sampler. The moment Sandra saw it, she wanted to reproduce it. Sandra loves these scenes with children, and it's just been a wonderful experience for the team at Hands Across the Sea Samplers to work on this. Anyway, okay, so it's available on the Hobby House website as of now. Just pop on the website, put Katerine in the search term. If you buy just the booklet and you live outside of the US, your booklet will ship from the UK at a lower postal rate. And when Hobby House process your order, they will make an adjustment in the order's cost to reflect those lower postal rates. Enjoy. Okay, so the special sampler that arrived this week. Now, when you look at this sampler, you might think, gosh, that's a very ordinary little sampler. Well, the needlework skills on this sampler are amazing. It's stitched on the finest of fabric. I'm going to have great fun seeing all those stitches to reproduce it, because this is on gauze and the stitches are really tiny. It is all over 2, but the fabric itself is just so fine. I'm actually going to have to use my highest strength magnifier to see this, not to see the stitches, but to see the threads of the gauze, to be able to count out the exact placement. But what is really special about this sampler is the verse on it. It says, "This was wrought by a poor child for a good lady, the only means of showing her gratitude for her kindness. June the 12th, 1822. And that just fills my heart with so much emotion. It really does. This was wrought by a poor child for a good lady, the only means of showing her gratitude for her kindness. This was no doubt stitched by a orphan. I'm sure it's going to be an orphan. It could just be a poor child that has been provided with some charity, but I'm sure it's an orphan child. And she had nothing except her needlework skills, and she made something as a sign of her gratitude. It's touched me so much. This has to be reproduced, just because of the sentiment or the reason why it was stitched. Sorry, this makes me feel very, it really gets me, this sampler. Let me show you the back. There's some pretty colours in there. Very, very, very pretty. Very pretty indeed. And exquisite stitching. She really did a good job. I'll just show you the front again. I love the way she spelt sewing. Showing. She spelt it with an E. So beautiful. I feel very privileged to have acquired this sampler, and it will be reproduced. I'm not quite sure when, because it's very busy at the moment, but it will be. It deserves to be. This week, I've only had one stitching session, which was last weekend, but it was a good stitching session. Considering that was one session, I got quite a bit done. I'm just starting to build up the peacock. The colours on this are so rich, and you can start to see this sampler come into life now through the colours. Gorgeous. The reason I've only had one stitching session is that every spare minute I've had outside of my normal working day has been spent packing samplers for the next red box. So it's been a very tiring week. Yesterday I got up and I had all these plans of things I was going to do, so I started walking the dogs, and when I got back I thought, I gotta have a lie down, and I literally spent the whole day dozing, waking up for a bit and just going back to sleep. I didn't even watch Strictly Come Dancing last night. That's equivalent to Dancing with the Stars. I was just so tired. I just couldn't even watch that, and that is amazing because I look forward to that programme all week. Today Ray is playing golf, and I think he felt a little bit guilty about playing golf today because he's played a lot of golf this week, but I don't mind, but he's treated the dogs to some roast lamb for their lunch today. So before he went off to play golf, he popped it in the Argo and it's going to be ready any minute. That's why the dogs aren't around, because they're in the kitchen, lying in front of the Argo, I expect, waiting for that lamb to be done. Anyway, today's going to be dog walk, and then I'm hoping I'm going to get some stitching in on that beautiful sampler. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to me. I know I go around in circles sometimes, but that's just me. Katerine's garden is now available exclusively from Hobby House as a limited edition. Enjoy her beautiful sampler. Sandra and Boomer did an amazing job. Until next weekend, stay well, stay safe. Bye-bye.